Hey, Manny CA here. Thought we'd do a video on doing a trigger job on your G42. So we've got our trusty G42 here, and go through a couple of techniques so you can do this on your own. You don't have to worry about paying a gunsmith to do it, and takes just maybe about 15-20 minutes of your time. And this actually, what it does is it doesn't reduce the trigger pull, but it does make the gun feel really smooth. Gives you a nice smooth crisp trigger pull. So first thing we do, of course, is we make sure the gun is empty. As you can see there, the gun is empty. And to disassemble a Glock, of course, you rack it, you pull the trigger, bring your hand over here. Let's try this, doing it backwards here. And we're disassembled. There we go. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is focus on our body here. So, as you guys know, when you're disassembling your Glock, we're going to take out this pin right here. And on a Glock, pins always go from left to right. Remember that, left to right. So, what I do is I'll put this guy down here, and you want to jiggle the slide stop right here as you're pushing down on the pin right here. So you're taking this, jiggling it as you're pushing. Boom, slides right out. There's your pin stop. That's your pin on that one. Then what you want to do is you come over here, use your pin, pop out the block, just like so, and your stop will come out. The slide stop will pop right out. You set those guys aside. You don't want to lose those. Next thing what you want to do is, there's another pin back here for your trigger block. Take that pin and it just pops right out. And this is a plastic one. I'd advise you guys to get an extra one of these, or 2 or 3, if you're going to be doing a lot of disassembly, and especially this pin. They're cheap, they're good to have, and why not? Now, to pull out your whole trigger mechanism, you grab the ejector right here, and that'll pull right out. So you've got your bar right here. There's your bar. And this is what we're going to be doing some work on here in the top of the slide. Now this, what you'll do, pops right off. See? So this bar, the trigger bar right here, is where you got the trigger. This is just a stamped piece of steel. It's a, it's a stamped piece. What do you expect, right? You can see we did a little bit of work over here. You can see how this is kind of shining up a little bit. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing here. All the work I like to do is, I don't like to use the Dremel for anything but polishing. So you got the polish wheel right there. What I like to do then is I'll take and I'll use 600 grit paper right here. Use 600 grit paper, and what you're going to do is use a nice flat surface like your stone. And on this, there's 4 areas you want to concentrate on when you're working on this. There's the bird's head right up here, where what we're going to do is we're going to smooth that out. That's where it contacts the top of the slide. This is your trigger right there. And we're going to concentrate on this portion right here, the inside of the bird's head right here, the top of the bird's head right here, and the sear. This is effectively the sear right in here. Now what we're going to do is we're not going to remove any material. I repeat, do not remove any material. You're going to work slow, and you're going to go, you need a flat surface. So what we're going to do is we'll start off with this part right here, this portion right up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it and just kind of hit it, following the curves with the 400, or this is 600, sorry, 600 grit sandpaper. And you're polishing it up a little bit. If you see any marks on there from shooting, that's where you want to work on. See right here, we've got a little bit of a couple of streak marks right there. So we take that and we're going to kind of just give them a light little rub on there. Taking care to not round off any of the parts that you need. Next part we're going to work on is the top right here of the bird head. This round area right up here. We're going to be working on this. This area's So same thing, take your paper and kind of just, I like to grip it like this. Just kind of come through here and we're coming across and keep that area flat. And that's it. Round it up, make it nice and smooth. Third part is going to be this area right here. This is the, right here. This part right here we're going to be working on. Now there's an angle on here. Do not change that angle at all. You can look at it. It's slightly canted. Basically what you're going to do is hold this the same way and give it a couple of strokes. And what we're doing is we're not removing material, but we're just polishing the heck out of it, making it smooth as silk. Fourth area is going to be the inside of the bird's head, right in here. We're going to be working on this area right here. You'll see frequently on a lot of guns that have been shot a lot, if you look inside, you'll see the scratch marks in here, and that's just from where the gun has been worked. Again, flat, keep it flat, and give it a good polish. There you go. I want to make sure that thing gets smooth, because again, these are stampings and they leave the factory in less than desirable conditions. Now you can see right here, you know, it looks a little faded. That's where we're going to hit it up with Dremel. Dremel will polish these up, they'll look like glass. Using your Flitz polish, of course, want to make sure you use Flitz, and that'll remove a lot of the oxidation from the parts and make them smooth as silk. Another thing I like to do is here on your trigger mechanism, you take your punch and you'll pop out your trigger spring right there. Now on the trigger spring, you'll see it'll mate up. You can see right here where it's real shiny up in here, right in there, and that's where these two guys meet up, just like so, and they rub. So smoother you can get this area, the smoothest connector you can make that, the better. Same thing, take this on the edge, give it a little bit of a smoothing out. There, we're good. We'll hit it up with the Dremel a little bit, grab some Flitz, a little bit of polish. I like to apply polish on the rag and take, just kind of dab it on the areas where we're going to be smoothing out, just like so. And then come back with the Dremel and we'll hit, and we got a polishing wheel on here. And you'll see the parts will shine. They'll look like highly reflective. They'll look like a piece of glass. See? Right in here. And that's basically what you do. Now on the slide, same thing. What we're going to do is we'll take apart the slide, and we want, this is our safety, or trigger safety right here. This thing will get highly polished also, and it's basically the same. What you do, this will fall out, and the, whoop, just what we needed. That's why I always have extra parts everywhere. Alright, so what you want to do is on your fire pin block also, you want to hit it with the 600 grit paper on there and hit it with your Dremel. Now remember, we're not removing material at all. We're just making sure that everything has a polished mirror shine to it, so that gravity and friction has less of effect than we ever would like. See that? There we go, right there. Beautiful. So, and we did our trigger bar, and you'll see right here how shiny it looks. That's what we're looking for. You wanted to have that shine to it. Same thing with your trigger, your actual firing pin. The block right here, I'm not going to take it apart, but because I've already done it, you want to take it and hit it with the 600 grit paper here on this side, and the face right here where it actually connects. Hit it, buff it, and there. I'm not going to take it apart just because of the time constraints to this video. We try to keep it under a certain amount. That way we don't lose people, get tired of it, of watching long videos. So, to do this, replace everything back again. There's trigger connect. And I'm going to take that. Yeah, that guy's tricky, especially after you slick them up. They get pretty slick on you. There you go. And you take your ejector, slide the ejector right in there. That'll hold it on its own. You got your pin here. Put in your firing pin group. Same thing. And you got your back plate. And if you've seen some of the other videos, we've gone through that. How to assemble. Okay. Hear that click? That's it. And we've got our slide reassembled. Now, trigger. Oop. It's so slippery, it's jumping out of my hands. Trigger mechanism, same thing. We've done all the polishing we can to it. Oh, don't forget the... Where did our... There we go. And this is a stock spring because it doesn't have a plus or a minus on it. So we know that it's about 5.5 pound pull. So that slides right on, right there. This guy would come, trigger group. Right on there. Drop that into the gun, like so. We'll put the rear pin in there. It should sit just under the surface right there. We'll put our block back in here. Actually, we've got to put our ejector first, or not ejector, I'm sorry. Our stop here. That goes in first, like so. Then this guy goes in, our bolt. And same thing, we go from left to right. When we put it in, now right to left, jiggle. There you go. And that is how you do a Glock trigger job. Now, a couple key areas when you're lubing your gun up is, think of it as a 3-2-1 method. You're going to go 3 here, 2 here, 1 here. So take a little bit of brake free, that's what we always use. And put a little dab right here, that's where it connects, where the barrel's always touching it. You put a drop on the rails, and then as you finish the rest of it, stand your rail stand your slide up like that so the drops kind of fall down on the barrel. I put a drop right on the barrel right there. A drop on the locking lug right here. That's 2. Alright. I like this take and smear right here because it contacts the barrel fully. 2. And 1 goes on the right in here where the connector contacts the actual trigger frame, trigger itself. There you go. See? Nice. You slide it all together. There you go. Smooth trigger pull. This feels like butter. Beautiful. And you know, every couple hundred rounds, take it apart, take a look, and you'll see where the parts are mating. And what you want to do is you can go ahead and finish it off. You know, do a little bit more polishing on them. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. If you have any other tips or techniques, maybe I did something a little bit harder than the way you guys have, a quicker way to do it, shoot me a message also. If you like the video, subscribe, man, because these are for you guys. And don't forget, join the NRA, man. Never stop fighting. The fight continues. Join the NRA, Gun Owners of America, Second Amendment Foundation. They're all fighting for your rights. And my brother in arms up in Washington State, keep fighting, because this tyranny will not stand. Take it to the courts. We're going to have to play by their methods. Until next time.